Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Wilder with a life model thought for the day. And today I thought we'd consider the difference between fear and anxiety, particularly when it comes to the brain. Now, fear and anxiety come from rather different parts inside the brain. Anxiety sometimes starts with a thought up here, something that spreads around when depends on what we're thinking in order to have it. Fear, on the other hand, is something that starts way deep down inside the brain as a sort of response to some kind of stimulus. So if we were thinking about it this way, something like a sudden sound, if I was to sneak up behind you with my tambourine and suddenly make a noise, while you would jump, and you would jump first and think second. You'd wonder, what was that noise? Where did it come from? You'd see me with my tambourine. You'd say, oh, quit that. I don't want to have you scaring me. But the sound, the response, the feeling all came first. Now worries are quite different. They start with the thought, like, how will I get people to like me? And then we go to worrying about, well, what shall I wear? Would this look good on me? Will everyone like me well if I was wearing this one? Well, how am I going to afford a new car? That's another worry. It starts with a thought, and the thought spreads around the brain, and the fears develop from that. Now let's take a verse like Philippians 4, verse 6, where it talks about uh, don't be worried about anything, or don't have cares about anything. The Greek word there we're talking about is the word merimnao, which is a word that actually means our thoughts for ourselves. It actually could be translated taking care of yourself, because the thought that it all depends on, the thought that's up here in our brain right up here on the left side, is how am I going to handle the situation that I'm facing right now? And so we have to solve each problem, each thought, one at a time. And this verse says, of course, we're not supposed to have worries about how we handle that. And so the natural Western way to handle that is to think, well, let's just change the way that we're thinking. If we had better thoughts, we would have fewer worries, which there's some truth to that. The only problem is we would have to take care of those worries one at a time. So I might have some worries about my money. Uh, maybe I don't know how I'm going to make rent this month. But then if I had another worry, how am I going to be able to afford a car or pay the medical bills? I have to go thought by thought and figure those things out. But the verse there in Philippians 4, 6, and 7 actually talks about uh, taking all these things to Jesus. And there really is a genius inside the brain about dealing with anxieties that doesn't start with the thought side. It starts with the relationship side, because way down here, right near where the fear center would be, is also our attachment center. If we're attached to someone and we trust them, we really don't worry in the same way. So, for instance, uh, when my kids were little, I could take them anywhere in the world. We would drive around. They had no idea where we're going, what they were doing. They just knew that they were with Dad. So every once in a while, when we were out on the road someplace, I'd blow the horn and I'd say, you know, oh, and they would look out and go, what did you blow the horn at, Dad? I said, well, that's to keep the lions out of the road. And they'd say, but there aren't any lions on the road. And I said, see how well it works. But you see, they didn't worry about lions or anything else because they were with Dad. I was with Perry recently, a friend of mine. We were going around a big city. I was in the neighborhood I didn't know. Did I worry? No, because I was with Perry. And because of that, I had a peace that went beyond my understanding. It was something that just rested in the fact that I was with him. It didn't depend on my knowing, understanding, being able to solve everything ourselves. So, as far as our brain is concerned, if we went back to attachment, we were attached with Jesus. The way we activate that actually is through appreciation or gratitude. So we go with him and we say, Lord, I'm thankful that you're with me. So, as far as our brain is concerned, the best way to not worry is to, well, if we had a shepherd who was with us all the time, we would have no worries, mate. That's today's thought about worry and anxiety.